Good morning, one and all. I, Dr. Shahista Inamdar, Assistant Professor, Navjivan Law College, Nasik, and coordinator of Virtual Lecture Series. I welcome you all for Phase 5 subject Human Rights. Today, we have chosen the subject of human rights of transgenders. And for this session, we have our guest. For five phases, we have five different guests. So today, we have guest from Singapore, that is Vanessa D'cruz, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am. Every person has a right to equality and protection from discrimination, irrespective of their gender. Transgender often face discrimination. Transgender are denied basic rights and protection due to lack of acceptance in the society. The main problems that are being faced by the transgender community are of discrimination, social exclusions, shunning by family and society, restricted access to education, employment, and public spaces, homelessness, lack of medical facilities like HIV care and hygiene, depression, hormone pill abuse, tobacco and alcohol abuse, penectomy, and problems related to inheritance, marriage, and adoption. Transgender face numerous hurdles in enjoying their family rights, be it child custody, inheritance, validity of their marriages, etc. A transgender parent is often deemed as unfit parent due to their gender identity struggle. As you all know that in everybody's family, whenever there is a child born, whether it is a boy or a girl, everybody is happy. But when we come to know about the child who is a transgender, then the problem arises. अगर बेटा हुआ तो पेड़ा बांटे जाते हैं और अगर बेटी होती है तो बर्फी दी जाती है. Why we make discrimination among the children? Children are the gift of God. If you see, blue, even we have discriminated amongst the colors also. If you see pink color, which is there for girls, and blue color for boys, we need to stop this discrimination. Today, this is the high time to stop the discrimination and welcome these peoples even. Therefore, today we are here for this session. Now I request Principal Dr. Kundendu Kumar Dev sir, our convener of this program, to welcome the guest. Over to you, Dev sir.
Today, 25th of January 2021, Law College, myself, Principal Dr. Kundendu Kumar Dev, heartily welcome all the personalities who are present on this occasion. Today, we are going to proceed with the fifth phase of the virtual lecture. Today, the topic which has been taken by our coordinators with the consent of the students is with reference to the human rights. It is great pleasure on my part that our coordinators have engaged the international resource person in the first occasion of this subject, human rights. I welcome Vanessa D'cruz, who is an international representative for AICPW Singapore. Madam, heartily welcome to you this virtual. And I'm very much grateful to you that you have accepted our invitation and took the pain to share your time with us. Thank you, ma'am. Again, I make a greeting of you. I also invite all the personalities and the dignitaries who are a continuous process of this virtual series and given a boost to this virtual series by making their contribution and devoting their valuable times. I welcome my students. I welcome all the faculty members, and last not least, my two coordinators, Mr. M.S. Pandey, Makaranda Pandey, and Dr. Sahista, who have taken lot of efforts to bring this a great success. With these few words, I conclude my greeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. As we have chosen for the fifth phase subject human rights, it is very pertinent to discuss what Rigveda has mentioned. One of the four canonical sacred texts of Hinduism says Vikriti evam Prakriti, meaning what seems unnatural is also natural. So, here today we have the guest from Singapore. Ma'am, I welcome you. And to introduce the guest, I would like to call upon our senior most faculty and co coordinator of this virtual lecture series, Pandey sir, to introduce the guest. This is the story of Warren, how he transformed to Vanessa. Over to you, Pandey sir.
I, Makaranda Pandey, Assistant Professor, Naujan Law College and co-coordinator of this virtual lecture series, welcome you all. Today, we are entering into the fifth phase, and the subject of this fifth phase is human rights law. The first resource person which is going to discuss her thoughts on the human rights is Miss Vanessa D'cruz, and she will guide us on human rights of transgender community, a real life journey of unflappable person. So I welcome ma'am. Now a brief introduction of ma'am. Vanessa, since young, always thought of having womanhood in herself, but did not dare to disclose before her parents. As year passed, she used to dress up the woman's clothes and feel happy and pleasure. Some of the friends they helped her to find out herself in real sense, and some of them also had taken a bad advantage. She traveled to Meerut, where she started grooming her womanhood. As a trans woman, she boldly started to speak for her rights and empowerment of women. She started participating in various conferences, seminars, on various forums to discuss the problems of LGBT community. She faced many problems to discover herself, and the journey was not so easy. Being a national secretary of AICPW, that is Aesthetics International Council, she organized various events for empowerment of women and children, and also a beauty contest. She was awarded with various national and international awards, especially in the field of human rights. She received Award of Excellence by IYBC, that is International Youth Business Communities, Singapore. She is continuously making efforts to bring the inequalities and the lives of LGBT community before the public at large by giving interviews and posting videos on Facebook. She inspired many authors of books to write the journey of her life, which gave motivation to other persons in this time of pandemic to fight with the unexpected virus by sitting idle in house without job or money. She organized fashion shows and wrote poems to encourage the LGBT community to fight for their rights and make them strong and economically sound. Her story is really heart touching, and her fight with the community at large is a very good inspiration to all of us to live life happily by enjoying all the difficulties. I welcome Miss Vanessa and request to share her inspirational and motivational talks with our participants. Over to you, Vanessa ma'am.
Hi, a very good afternoon to Dr. Shashita and the community. Thank you for inviting me on this platform to talk about my life and how I have actually motivated myself to who I am today. Now, as you all know, I was born a male, but decided to become a female. Well, people have asked me why I wanted this change. Well, I told them since I was young, at around the age of 5, I already knew I wanted to be a woman. Of course, this journey that I was going to take was going to be very problematic because transgenders on the whole are not really accepted in society. Why are we not accepted in society? Well, there's always the definition of sex. Sex is defined in two words: male, female. There is no place for the third gender. However, this scenario has been changing over some time because in some countries, the third gender is actually right now more accepted, especially in a country like Indonesia. There is a rural village that accepts the third gender. And I have also been looking at India's progress on how they are accepting the transgenders. And I'm very proud of India for creating great policies that give them also equal rights. Now back to my journey. As mentioned, my journey has not been easy. I've faced many discriminations, many insults. I've been sexually abused, and I can tell you that there was a point of time where somebody threw a drinking can at me. Now, all this caused my self-esteem to go down to a very low level. As such, I was afraid to actually move out of my house and be who I want to be. When I wanted to go to a shopping center, I actually marched up and down at its entrance before entering the shopping center. I have tried to join women's groups in Singapore. I've tried to join gyms that were catered to women, and I was chased out. Now, all this experience actually made me wonder whether I was actually going to survive, because it was so hurting and the pain was something that you actually may not be able to bear. And I had crying bouts every now and then. I fell into depression, and there was a point of time where I told myself, all right, just give up hope. Do not become the woman that you want to be. Just become the man that you are. So that's what I did. At a certain point of time, I tried to find a girlfriend I wanted to marry. I developed all my male characteristics. But very unfortunate, or I would say fortunate, the voice inside me, the voice that telling me to be Vanessa, kept on shouting. And that person wanted to be released. That voice that told me, said that you cannot be who you want to be right now because I am who you are. Eventually, she broke out. I gave in because I couldn't fight the voice in my head. I had to be who I wanted to be. I had to be Vanessa. And I continued my journey. Very fortunately for me, I met awesome friends who helped me through this journey. As a transgender, as a person who going through transition, it is very important to find the right friends who can sincerely help you through your journey. You can find many friends, but you need to ask yourself whether they are sincerely helping you or they are asking you to live on their own terms. Because I've come across people who have told me that, okay, I accept you as a transgender, but remember of society's acceptance towards you. So it's better that you follow society's terms instead on your own terms now. Never give in to this. If you want to live your life, live the life that you want to be. You wear the clothes that you want to be. You wear the heels that you choose to buy. Never follow other people's terms. Because in the long run, you're going to regret. You are not going to live your life at all. So I found the right friends that helped me to increase my self-esteem. Some of you may know that my original mentor, Miss Vanessa D'cruz, without her, I wouldn't be here speaking to all of you all. I met other mentors also. They have been training me until now. But I always am grateful to the original mentor, Miss Vanessa D'cruz, for instilling me the confidence that I have today. And I'm very grateful for her in allowing me to organize pageants. That is where I increased my confidence. That's where I had more friends, and that is where I met my aesthetics family, which I fell in love with. And I'm very grateful to have this family because they have been supporting me until now. And by now, I just want to say that I love you all. So I mentioned that we need friends that can support us. However, if we want to build our own confidence, if we want to have our own happiness, we need to help ourselves also. We need to help ourselves first. That means we have got to build our confidence. Once we can build our own confidence, once we can build our own happiness, that other people can see how we build that confidence and they can become more confident on us, towards us. We can be able to give out good vibes to people. And one way of giving good vibes to people, you need to have a very positive mind. I was thinking about this and I decided to create a method called the leap of faith. Let me go through this method in a summarized way because actually it takes some time to explain it. So the first thing you need to do is you need to learn about yourself. You need to discover your strengths. You need to tell yourself that there are things in your life you need to change to be better. Now, why I'm telling you to tell yourself this, because as you see, a lot of people cannot tell themselves to change. Because as we go through life, we become expert in our self journey. That means we cannot do no wrong. We cannot take other people's advice because of our ego. We must always be humble. I have this quote about humble. To be humble, let me read to you. Be humble and forgiving. It makes you resilient. Don't be proud. It makes you rigid. Remember, grass withstands storms where trees get uprooted. So always be humble. Learn about yourself. You can go and ask others about how you can improve yourself. Then the next step is actually, the next step actually is to accept the change that you want to change. First tell yourself and later accept it. Be forgiving. Forgive your past mistakes. We all make mistakes. We move on. Our mistakes do not define who we are. So just move on, accept our problems, learn to live with it. And now I move on to acceptance. Accept what we have today to improve ourselves. We have many things in life that we can use to improve ourselves. The thing is, sometimes we do not see these things that are right in front of us. Like say, supposing you may have books that can help you to improve yourself. You have some music that can help your mind to stay calm and become more positive. Live in the present. Feel alive, feel positive every day. Give thanks every morning. Wake up and give thanks to what you have. Giving thanks is something that will make your mind very positive. I learned this when I was in the COVID-19 lockdown. I was feeling very sad when I was locked down, but very fortunately, I had The Alchemist and The Secret. Sorry, I read two books, The Alchemist and The Secret, that helped me to give thanks every day in my life. And when I started to do that, I started to be much more happier. Now, giving thanks in your life have actually many levels. And actually, I will not be talking about it right now, but I recommend that you buy these two books so that you can understand how to give thanks in your life. It will definitely help you. And be original. Be your original self. Do not copy others. You know, sometimes we like to copy others. We just like to imitate others. Sometimes we like to mix people that had the same problem with us. And that's not going to help us to change. We need to change ourselves. We need to be original. Do the impossible. Yeah, next one. Do the impossible. I love to watch the movie Mission Impossible because I admire the stunts. And I always tell myself, what if I can do impossible, daring things to change my life? Trust yourself. Have the heart that you can change. Very important, you must have trust in yourself. If you don't have trust in yourself, you can never change. You can never become the person you are. That's why I always trust myself to be who I want to be right now, who I actually want to be. That's why I become who I want to be, and I'm able to talk to you right now because I trust myself that I am confident enough to deliver this message to you. So now, as I continue my journey, it doesn't mean my journey is smooth. I will still face many discrimination because of the laws in my country. One of the laws that I want to see change is the 377A. Now, the 377A is a law that will prosecute couples of the same sex for sexual relationships, whether it's private or public. Of course, the government have said that they won't proactively activate this law, but it has been bordering on a lot of people's minds, especially the LGBT community, because it is there. Secondly, when we use the bathrooms, especially a transgender use the bathroom, and if somebody complains that that person using the wrong bathroom, that transgender can get into trouble. Now, I wish that people just accept us for who we are. We are women, okay? We want to use the ladies' toilet. So allow us to use the ladies' toilet. Right now, we need to carry a letter to show that we are transitioning. I want all this to change. Why should we actually carry a letter? People should learn to accept who we are. We are lucky that in Singapore that we are able to change our gender. But however, we must also need to go and see a psychiatrist to get permission to change our transgender. Now, actually, I want to say that we are the best judgment of who we are. Sometimes a psychiatrist may judge us wrongly also. So why do we need a psychiatrist to tell us who we are? Okay, fair enough. Maybe we need a psychiatrist to guide us. Yes, to guide us, but not to tell us who we are. And we don't need all these letters to tell us who we are. We need to come and educate society to tell them that, hey, when you see a transgender, just accept that person. No questions at all. I have been creating motivational videos for the LGBT community to improve themselves, and it's based on my journey. I created about 53 motivational videos. I post it on my Facebook account every Friday. So if any one of you are on my Facebook account, please view my videos. Another one I want to talk about is also policies in schools. Schools must have the correct policies to help transgender students. They must know how to advise them. They must know how to do proper counseling to make the transgender student feel comfortable in schools. Right now, there are not a proper structure to help transgender students in schools, especially here. But I hope that a committee will be set up to look into this matter. A transgender student cannot be prevented of who he or she wants to be. They must be given the right education. They must be given the same rights as all of. Whether we are transgender or not, we must be given the same human rights with everybody, because our blood is red. Everybody's blood is red. That are the laws in Singapore that I want to see change, and also the structures in Singapore that I want to be changed. And also, I want the mindsets of the people living in my country to change. For example, the social family unit in my country is based on a heterosexual family. Now, of course, we have been told that we have a place in Singapore, but we must not rock the family foundation. Now, I feel this very contradictory, and that is why I want the 377A to be repealed. Because if it's still there, then the LGBT community's life cannot function normally. We cannot live as a family. There is still a lot more for us to learn about each other and to start to be a loving society. And one way we can start in being a loving society towards the LGBT community is to educate the youth. Parents out there should educate the youth of how they should accept the LGBT community. They should educate the youth to give the proper ways of treating an LGBT community correctly. They must learn the human rights. They must know that all of us have the same human rights. There is no difference at all. when it comes to human rights. But why I always emphasize that it is important to educate the youth to accept the LGBT community, because they will be the future leaders of society. They will be the one rising. They will be the one going up to become CEOs or maybe engineers, teachers, and etc. And if they own a company, they will be able to hire the LGBT community. Because I can tell you that right now, when it comes to job finding for the LGBT community, they are actually stuck in a certain sector. Most of them go to the makeup sector, the beauty sector, or maybe they are doing clerical work. They're not able to rise and become professionals. Not that I have seen in some other countries like US, like in India, they are able to sit in high positions in governments. Here we cannot do it. So if the youth are able to love the LGBT community, then I can tell you that our lives will be much, much, much better. And the sex rate for the LGBT community will decline. So, as you know, I've organized many, many events. I've organized beauty pageants, but my most honorable passion that I have is to empower women, to empower the LGBT community also. Because my educational background is sociology. And when I was in the university, I learned a lot about women's troubles. I learned a lot about the troubles of the LGBT community. And that gave me the passion to help women and LGBT community. And I've been doing so until now. I've joined the SC6 family, an awesome organization that helps to empower women. Dr. Kamashi has created an awesome platform to empower women, and it is called Grani. I've also now joined the youth movement to empower youth, to teach them about how to love the LGBT community. I've received some awards, the Red Blazer Excellence 2021, and today I just learned that I'll be getting a crown. I've earned a She Inspires Me award also. All these awards will not change the person who I am. It will only just increase my desire to help society, to help the LGBT community. I hope one day that I can be involved in changing the laws that discriminate the LGBT community here in Singapore. So there's a quote that also helps me to fight on in my life. Because when I was younger, I used to love to watch the Rocky series. I'm not very sure whether some of you know about Rocky. It's a boxing series where an underdog actually rose to become a champion. So there was a quote that he told his son, because he was always blaming him for his downfall. So this is what Rocky told his son, and it is a quote that inspires me a lot. Let me read to you. Let me tell you something that you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's very mean and nasty place. I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you down to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, and nobody are gonna hit as hard as you can. But it ain't how hard you get hit. It is about how hard you get hit and keep on moving forward. How much you can take the hit and keep on forward. That is how winning is. So, despite my discriminations and insults that I still face in life, I still keep moving forward. I still don't back down. I still don't give up. Because I believe that one day things will change. And things are changing. The wheel is turning. It is turning slowly, but like everything, when the wheel turns in momentum, it will get faster and faster. That is what I really believe in my heart. So what if the if the wheels is turning slowly and slowly, and it's still turning slowly, but it is still turning. It's like the tortoise. The tortoise reached its finishing line, no matter how slow it took to reach there. So I believe that changes will happen in time. Things will get better. The LGBT community will start having a better life in society. So let me leave you with a poem that I actually wrote about myself, about my life. Vanessa sings a sweet song, the pain she hides well, like a caged bird that sings for its freedom. She sings it too, she smiles it too, but her lullabies and singing are sweet wonders to those who hear and don't. She walks straight and forward, and not on bended knees, as she bends for no one, obvious to people around her. She hears their cries of humiliation and discrimination, as she helps her heart swells for her own well-being. She needs to keep it safe, for who she trusts her heart to no one but herself. Many misunderstood she is, but she takes it in her strides. For strength in her gift and greed is her passion. For only she knows how to reach her destiny, the destiny of love and harmony. Her predators are waiting to see her fall, but she shines bright, only to blind them and let them hover in the shadows of their own naivety. Oh, Vanessa, thou art shall be who she will be, for she sings with a caged bird and roams the lands like a tiger's, shining in its pride. She leaves a footprint of legacy, legacy of grief and strength. Her followers are involved with her grief and strength, and she bathed in pride. Her name is spoken. Vanessa stands on her own grave of dreams. A legacy is heard like a tiger's roar. A legacy grows a song of grief and strength and ambition. She will walk on a distant hill. She will rule the hill and bathe in the glory of the sun. As a legacy will be followers of pride and envy of her distractors. So I want to leave a legacy that will be able to help all the LGBT community and help change the laws in society. So with that, I thank you so much for letting me be on this platform and giving me my views about how I think rules can be changed and how we can live as a family, how we can make society a more loving one. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. We have heard about your life story and the struggle. But I have read your biography. I want you to discuss and tell to the participants that what was your age when you came to know that you are not male but female. That we want to know so that people will understand the grievance that what this situation may occur at anybody's house. So please, can you tell your age and your education, how much you have done your education, age, and whether you got married or not?
At the age of 5, actually, when I be able to get my senses, I be able to when I was able to start thinking, be able to sense who I actually. Well, at the age of 5, they found it a bit weird that I like to go to women's boutiques and actually buy all the women's dresses and actually start to feel their materials, because you see, seriously, because I like to imagine how I'll be dressed up as one. But of course, I couldn't dress up at that time, so I just felt the materials of dresses. It actually gave me a sense of happiness. And my parents actually found it a bit weird. So every time when I went out with them, they would throw me into a bookstore. That is how I started reading. However, I kept it a secret. And as I was growing up, I secretly dressed up as a woman whenever my parents went out to work. Now, as I was dressing up as a woman at home, sorry, I'm going to continue. As I was dressing up as a woman at home, I was a very disorganized person. So my mother actually found out that why her clothing was in a disarray. And I confessed that I was wearing her clothes and they got very, very angry with me. They started to cane me. They started to lock out the cupboards or that because they were not allowed me, because I was not allowed to do what I wanted to do. But because there was a period of time where I was raped and it caused my parents a lot of pain. And I was thinking that why should I suffer? I can just live my male self and stop all this suffering. That was something I wanted to escape to. And it's something that I always tell all the transgender that are going through this phase. Never, never escape who you are. Actually, this is quite common among us because with our pains and sufferings, we just want to escape it. So we just give in to ourselves. And that is totally wrong. I tried it a few years. I thought I would succeed, but wrong. No, it didn't succeed. Vanessa came back because Vanessa is who I am.
Vanessa, I have heard everything, and even my participants have heard your life struggle. That why you are still single, why people are not accepting your parents, how they have behaved, how the society, how the people they have behaved. But as you have discussed, and we want to know that how there was a difference between Indian people, their behavior with you, and your hometown, that is Singapore. What was the difference between both the country, how they have behaved? As I have read your biography, that many Indian people have helped you because it is Indian culture which says Atithi Devo Bhava. And we really love you, and we are here to say that anytime, whenever you require, we as Navjivan Law College having Legal Aid Center, we are here, not only you but many people there in India, they should know that Navjivan Law College is having a legal aid center, and definitely we are here to help. Feel free to come ahead, come here, and there are many views coming on the screen that it is really a wonderful session, and it really requires a great courage to speak in front of all the public that how you have been gang raped, how you have been sexually abused, how you have faced all the life troubles and problem, but still you are here. And we are really proud of you, Vanessa, that you have really a great courage to speak before this people, and you are truly a great masterpiece, I could say. And you are here with your gender, and you are here with whatever identity you have, and I respect these emotions. And I want to say to all the people out there that try to understand the feelings and emotions of the people, that what they are facing, ही जी व्यथा आहे हे प्रत्येकाने समजून घ्यायला पाहिजे. I would like to say to each and every one that try to understand their feelings, emotions, what they are, the trauma, the depression which they are suffering. All these things has to be understood, and we belong to the culture that Lord Shiva is here. And here also it has been mentioned that how that male and female, the combined version, how the person lives, and it is their life journey. And we have heard from you, Vanessa, and it was a real life experience that we have seen. And I can say you, and I assure you that we all are here. Atithi Devo Bhava means we treat guest as God, and therefore whenever you are here, definitely all are Indians. Tomorrow is a Republic Day, and I wish a happy Republic Day to all. And I would say that we Indians are such that everyone love, but there are some exceptions even in this country and even in yours also, that who doesn't have the humanity. But I would like to say that awareness is required, and we should see that how we can save this humanity.
When I went to India, Meerut, I actually experienced unconditional love. Of course, prior before going to India, I was feeling very nervous. Even when I was in a plane, I was thinking, how are the people in India going to treat me. However, all my fears were actually unfounded because I felt the extreme unconditional love with everyone I met in India. All of it, all of them gave me hugs, and I was very surprised in the way they treated me. It even became better where I actually took the stage to talk about myself. I actually spoke about my journey in India. And when I did that, everybody understood who I was. And I can tell you that until now, I am making more friends in India every day. 70% of my friends on Facebook are from India. And I'm very grateful for that. I also miss India so much, but very unfortunately, right now I cannot come to India because of the COVID-19 situation. So this situation that I faced in India is something that really surprised me. I was thinking whether this situation can also be implemented in Singapore itself. Because in Singapore itself, the LGBT community and the transgender community are actually left alone. It is like, if you do not disturb me, I won't disturb you. Just go on with your life. But that does not mean I can accept your life. Yes, there are people in Singapore who have accepted the LGBT community and the transgender community. There is also love in Singapore. But the level of love that I've experienced in India, it is not something that I've faced here yet. I feel that we need to become more matured. We need to be more loving with one another. And there is so much more to do to make Singapore a very much more loving place for the LGBT community. That's my thoughts on it.
We are really delighted to hear your words for our country, for our nation. Proud that our Indians have a very soft heart, a big heart, and we welcome all our guests. So, as we all know that even United Nations and other bodies on gender identity have mentioned about Article 6 of UDHR and Article 16 of International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights 1966 recognize that every human being has the inherent right to live, and this right shall be protected by the law, and that no one shall be arbitrarily denied of that right. And I would like to quote two lines for you, Vanessa. I didn't realize who I was until I stopped being who I wasn't. So these are the beautiful lines for you, Vanessa. और मैं कहना चाहूँगी कि अपनी पहचान और अपनी लड़ाई खुद लड़नी है, लेकिन हम आपकी हर लड़ाई में आपके साथ हैं, चाहे वो लड़ाई अपने अस्तित्व की क्यों ना हो. When we say that identity and this gender equality problem arises here, we are here to fight the battle with you, and we are with you, definitely with you all, and with the LGBTQ community even. And before proceeding to the vote of thanks, I would like to uh, call upon Dr. Santosh Tiwari sir for his views, and one more Tiwari sir is being there in this session. Even they want to share their views.
I think we have met with Vanessa ma'am in an international conference organized by the Aesthetic Internationals. And you are most welcome, ma'am. Whenever you will feel free. You are most welcome in India. And our Indian culture recognize to LGBT community and protect their human rights. We are trying to protect the all these type of community, and
we are following the following the constitutional norms and legal provisions and judicial pronouncement delivered by time to time to the Supreme Courts and High Courts regarding the LGBT communities, regarding the other minorities group, regarding the other groups. So we are trying to protect the human rights to all and every aspects, and following the UDHR guidelines which have been mentioned under the UDHR, as UDHR has total 30 articles, and there has been several human rights has been mentioned under the UDHR. We are following the same, and you are most welcome. Yes, ma'am. Dear Yes, yeah. Dear participants, dear audience, dear speakers, first of all, good morning to all of you. I, Dr. Santosh Kumar Tiwari, Assistant Professor, Law, School of Law, Justice and Governance, Gautam Buddha, Greater Noida, Delhi NCR. As I am working in the field of law as a teacher more than 10 years and having teaching and research experience around the 15 years, and working on human rights last 2 to 3 years, human right, and especially I am working in the field of environment, and I have completed my research degree under the Indian Constitution. So we are here to collaborate and organize the different type of programs. Some such type of programs we have collaborated with the Saista ma'am, some others, and we have several platforms to organizing the such type of programs. We are organizing such type of virtual lecture series, such type faculty development program, international and national seminars and webinars, and I appreciate the all type of these things. And I have written four to five books, and one is especially in the field of human rights, and trying to much more regarding in the field of human rights. So thank you all. Thank you, Saista ma'am, for giving me such opportunity to introducing myself. Thank you.
So first of all, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to the learned speaker in the way
Good morning, sir. Good morning and
the
welcome.
theme was delivered. The way the theme was delivered is really wonderful, and it was a very informative session for all of us. So it's a great opportunity for me to be with you in this session. And it's my the other way, since I was associated for a long time from National University of Singapore. When I visited in the year 1998 in Asian Development Project, I could be able to see your culture and something more. So, but believe in me, the way Indian Supreme Court is responding on this issue, it's obviously quite innovative. And we do have a kind of faith that we have respect of each and every arguments. Because the law basically has three groups. That is law of person, law of obligation, law of property. So far as the question of law of person is concerned, what I feel that the government of India and our judicial system is definitely much bothering for the human rights of each and every group, even though animate and inanimate objects. So thank you with these words for your nice presentation and well informative lecture. Thank you so much.
And then I would call upon Mubin Khan, student of Navjivan Law College, to propose vote of thanks.
Respected dignitary, first of all, I take the opportunity to thank you, Mr. Vanessa D'cruz, for taking the time to speak on the subject of human rights of the transgender. Your comments on how really, like you said, your educational background from sociology, you have rightly used your educational background to help the community, help the create an awareness about the society. The learning point from what you spoke is a message for the society. You wanted to be a woman, you were sexually abused when you were entering a shopping center, or the society's acceptance was not there. So these things were really discriminatory. Now every constitution, like the Indian Constitution, Article 21 gives you a fundamental right to live your life with dignity. So now this is clear cut. This is clearly a violation of your fundamental right. You have been denied the right to live your life with dignity. But still, you stood strong, and like the heading that was given for this seminar, a real life journey of an unflappable person. So I wanted to tell people what is an unflappable person. That is unflappable person is the one who is having calmness in a crisis. So this literally is a crisis. Means, like you said, ki you realized at the age of 5 that you want to be a woman, and till this age you have faced the society, you have faced everyone, and you have fought for yourself, and plus you have created an awareness among the society, which is really important. And it is the people like you. I would like to mention one landmark judgment of the Supreme Court, which has been delivered in 2014. So till now, we had only two genders in India. In India, till 2014, we were recognizing only two genders, that is male and female. So Supreme Court held that this is clearly violative of the fundamental right of the to live life with dignity. So a third gender was introduced by the Supreme Court. This was a landmark judgment of NALSAR versus, that is National Legal Services Authority, versus the Union of India. Again, few laws have been amended by for the LGBT community. So definitely, government is also doing something for the community. But activists like you are motivation. I also take one point from your this thing. You wear the shoes which you choose to buy. That is a very important message and the crux of what you have delivered in today's lecture. So ultimately, you are an inspiration. You are an unflappable person, and keep doing good work. We all love you from India. Thank you so much. Keep delivering such things. And one thing I like the most, most of the lectures, they were not experience sharing lectures. This is the first lecture we are having where a real life experience is being shared rather than being mostly an academic lecture. We have not discussed anything academic, but we have, though it was unacademic lecture, but it was a very learning point, and it sensitizes the community. I would also like to emphasize one point here. The Indian government is also taking steps. They are giving employment to the transgenders now. Andhra Pradesh has taken this initiative of giving employment, because most of the time they are also discriminated on the grounds of employment also, in terms of education also. So keep doing your good work. We would definitely follow you on the social media. Lots of love from India. Thank you so much. And apart from this, I would like to thank our managing trustees, Bade sir, Bade madam, principal Dr. Shahista Inamdar madam, and all my dear colleagues for being patient and being interactive. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mubin, for a wonderful vote of thanks. And now I would like to request everyone to on their videos so that we can have a virtual photograph with all. And stay tuned, everyone, as tomorrow is a Republic Day. So Happy Republic Day to all, and we all are meeting again day after tomorrow for the session of ट्रिपल तलाक पिटिशनर इशरत जहां वुड बी देर. एक और इतिहास हम सुनने वाले हैं परसों. जैसे हमने देखा कि एक अस्तित्व की लड़ाई हमने आज देखी है, एक आइडेंटिटी की लड़ाई हमने देखी है, परसों हम देखने वाले हैं कि किस तरह एक रिलीजन है, रिलीजन में जो बातें नहीं बताई हैं लेकिन फिर भी कई लोग अपने रिलीजन का नाम लेकर इसके अंदर इस चीज़ को अपोज करते हैं. तो उस वक्त जो लड़ाई लड़नी पड़ती है, उसके अंदर जितनी परेशानियां आती है, वो सारे हम सुनेंगे परसों इशरत जहान मैम के साथ में ट्रिपल तलाक इस टॉपिक पे. सो आई रिक्वेस्ट एवरीवन टू ऑन योर वीडियोस, काइंडली स्टे ट्यून फॉर phase 5, and it was today day 11. We all will meet for day 12, that is for triple talaq. And thank you all. I request once again that kindly on your videos to have a virtual photograph, please. Yeah. Thank you all. Thank you so much.